I got some issues with Green fans. I'm not going to spoil too much, but Criston Cole's whole character is in question after the new information we've gotten. There are more leaks that I'll talk about in my next video, but Team Green is looking pretty diluted. How can you defend Cole after hearing this? In this video, I'm going to go over how these leaks make Criston Cole a worse / more complicated character, and I'm going to try to figure out the other side of why people still support Cole and the state of being a Team Green fan as a whole. I'm sorry guys, but there's a reason why Criston is disliked.
That was beneath me, Your Grace. I apologize.
I think the main reason people don't like him is because he comes off as some sort of incel. It's more complicated than that, but Cole's main issue is that a character kind of does a 180 after being rejected by Rhaenyra, and people attach to that simplified idea, and now they don't like him.
I thought if we were married, I might be able to restore it.
Now, is this justified by itself? I would actually argue no, it's not, but there's more reasons to dislike Cole, and I'll get to that, don't worry. Now, some of his hate just simply isn't justified, and a lot of it is just tribalism. Also, Cole was raped. I've argued with people over this online, but the context of this situation is very rapey. Rhaenyra came back from the night out in the town and sees Cole as her plan B, and then coerces him to have sex. The more you think about it, the worse this situation seems. Rhaenyra probably had sex with Cole specifically because she knew that he couldn't tell anyone. She could have had sex with literally any random guy, so why choose Cole? I know that she had the hots for him, but regardless, I think it's pretty likely that she knew that he couldn't tell anybody. Adding the fact as well that Rhea is a princess and Cole's a Kingsguard, and that's a major power imbalance, which is one of the main components of rape. Cole's decision making is pretty compromised here. He worked his whole life for this position, and now he's put between a rock and a hard place, and has to choose between his vows that he's worked his whole life for, or defying the person that he swore to protect and also threatening his dream job. This is a pretty crazy decision to make, and Ray is pretty wrong for putting him in this scenario at all. And it's not like Cole just instantly says yes and takes off his armor. He's obviously hesitant, and Ray just does not care. I think you're deluded if you don't at the very least think that Ray is in the wrong here, which does give Cole some sympathy. Now, I know I was just defending Cole, but some of the reasons as to why Cole could be sympathetic starts to bite him in the ass later in regard to his future behavior. For example, he says all women are special or sacred.
Every woman is an image of the mother, to be spoken of with reverence.
But then he calls Ray a cunt.
Spoiled cunt.
Him saying this shit even made Alicent think twice. Bro, you were ready to run away with her and now she's a slut? This is why people say he's an incel. He pretty much switched up completely as soon as he was rejected. Not to mention his emotional outburst. Cole's the most unstable person in the whole show behind Daemon. But damn, even Daemon is calculated when he lashes out. He at least doesn't just do straight up dumb things that don't align with his interests at all. Cole killing Joffrey is one of the most brain dead suicidal things a character has done in the show. I've seen some people try to defend Cole here, but the whole point of the scene was that Cole was so down bad and emotionally volatile that he would kill a prince's lover at a simple threat at a royal event. Joffrey didn't even say that he was going to snitch. He just tried to establish a mutual understanding that they weren't going to tell each other secrets. Even if Cole felt genuinely threatened, what's this shit going to accomplish? At best, he gets stripped of all his honor since he beat someone to death at a royal event, and if not, just outright executed. Cole knew he was cooked because he tried to delete himself after his outburst. He's extremely lucky Alicent was there to give him emotional support and a purpose. I mean, even when he killed Lord Beesbury, no consequences came of that either, and Cole acts like he didn't do anything after killing the old man. He just steps backward after slamming his brains into the table like his actions were normal or even justified. This is the main reason why people don't like Cole. His emotional outbursts are on par with Daemon's, along with his obvious sexism that only applies to Rhaenyra. Now, he's done more justice in the books since Cole is actually represented as a really good fighter. In Fire and Blood, he gets pissed during a tourney that's held to honor Rhae getting married to Laenor. Since he was pissed that he just got rejected from Rhaenyra and she's getting married, he pretty much beat everyone, including breaking Harmon's bones. In Fire and Blood, this is how he kills Joffrey. While fighting in the tourney, he pretty much bashes his head in with his Morning Star. This is a much better representation. While Cole's still hateful, at least when he kills Joffrey, it's somewhat justified, and it's not as brash since it's a tourney. And Joffrey is also armored and armed as well. He just got bested in combat. It's not like in the dinner scene where he's fighting someone who has no armor and is not armed at all. While Cole has a sword on him, he's in full plated armor. Of course they would win in that fight. The Cole show on the show is just borderline delusional. All of this feeds into the issue of Cole being in a relationship with Alicent and me questioning why people still defend him. Cole's whole thing is his honor and his vows on the Kingsguard.
I've soiled my white cloak. It is the only thing I have to my fucking name.
Alicent's personal guard, so his duty is towards her, but why is he just fine with having sex now? So Cole's willing to break his vows again and have sex with the princess while they're not married? This whole thing is very absurd to me. So Alicent is a whore now, based on Cole's definition. Well, if they had a kid? This gets into a much larger issue within the world and the fandom as a whole. For whatever reason, people agree with the framing that Rhaenyra is a slut, as if they live in the society that the show is set in. Rhaenyra having bastards by herself is not a bad thing. She's free to have sex with whoever she wants. The issue is that she's bringing bastards into the world, but the problem is that the world she lives in shouldn't be biased against bastards in the first place. Team Green fans point this out, that Rhae just loves to sleep around, but she should be able to. It's literally a commentary in the show that men and women have double standards when it comes to sex, just like in the real world. So Rhae is a whore for sleeping around with a couple guys, so why are we defending Alicent for fucking Cole? Not only are they both hypocrites now if they weren't already, but they can have bastards, which is like the main gripe against Rhaenyra. For all the people who morally grandstand and say Alicent is better, that's simply just not really the case anymore. The whole reason that Alicent and Rhae had a falling out was because Rhae lied about who she was having sex with, and Alicent resented her for not living a life full of duty like she had to. Don't get me wrong, you could still like the characters, like that's fine. All of these characters have internal contradictions and personal inconsistencies. That's just being human. The issue is when people ignore these things and play the tribalism game, trying to say that Alicent's better than Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra's wrong, blah, blah, blah. If these leaks are true, that's not really the case. Finally, let's talk about the Green fandom before I end this video. I think the Greens are going to be better portrayed in this season. Aegon has to be getting more screen time, and Daemon looks like he's going to be at the center of most of the conflict since he's the one that killed Luke. With that being said, I don't think morally the Greens are going to be shown in a good light at all. It is very possible that the Greens are given the frame of just being straight up villains. This was obviously already being set up in season 1. I just hope people don't try to justify the terrible shit the Greens are going to do. People do the same for the Blacks. I'm going to cover the Daemon discourse regarding blood and cheese, but the shit I've been seeing with Cole is pretty bad. We'll see what happens and how Cole will change as compared to the books, but in my opinion, this character has definitely been downgraded. Alright guys, subscribe if you're still watching, and I'm glad to be back. Now that House of the Dragon is coming in for season 2, I'm going to be uploading again, so comment, like, and subscribe. Give me some feedback on what you think of this video. How do you feel about Criston Cole and Alicent in these recent leaks? Alright, see ya.